Well, we're changing at a fundamental level, and those who don't want us to change know that that change constitutes freedom. That's why they're attacking. My next lecture is going to be called A Blood War. And what they're going to be doing right now is to attack us in what I call the crimson crystal, which is the liquid crystal of universal consciousness. Your blood is carrying information in the form of the archives that we call the mitochondria. And what is happening is the reason why they want us to be, to be vaxxed is to stop what we are naturally supposed to do, and that is to resurrect and to be enhanced by the living experience. There are those who cannot transit out of the present time lock that we are trapped in because our thought processes are being invaded by things that are turning us to go to what is known as a virtual reality. The true reality is in here and what we interpret. But if you invade this space and begin to use this energy by manipulation, now the focus is no longer within, it's without. And so what's happened is they need to disrupt the molecular atomic structure of consciousness in the human being. They must unravel or cause the unraveling of certain DNA that are supposed to, from the junk DNA. It's supposed to be the time when there is a knitting of the junk DNA from the 6 and the 9 spiral into the 12, all the way up to the 22 strands DNA. Most people just talk about a 12-strand DNA, but the Kabbalah and the so-called 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet constitutes, or actually are, based in the 22 strands of the DNA that were tantamount to what we call the God-man. Because we are all evidenced, all of us as human forms, we are essentially condensations from a very higher source. We're not born from a fish. We don't come up from the ocean. We're not, apes and all of this kind of nonsense. As soon as the Most High folded onto itself, man appeared. So there was never a beginning to man, and there will never be an ending to man. There will only be variations on the theme called man. And when I say man, I don't mean man as the gender male. Okay, man is actually a format for the name Mem Alf Nun, which means mother, father, and the fish which was derived from the two, which is son. So essentially, the word man is constituting the 3 and the 1 and the 1 and the 3. If you understand how language and mathematics and numbers all come together. So yes, there is a war on the blood. The blood is very important right now because it is a liquid crystal and it is picking up information based upon the sun and the moon circling overhead, not us running around it. That's the first thing that must change. You see, the way you detract or derail the humanity from finding its path is by lying to the children about how reality really works. And the very fact that they've told us that we're on a spinning ball, that there is an endlessness to what we are. Yes, there's an endlessness, but it's a plane. We are on the third density. We are on the third level of density. You can stick your hand out of a car going at 60 miles an hour, and you will find that we are actually underwater. That resistance you feel is nothing more than a quality of water, a derivative of water that you call the air. There is a denser form of it. You call it water that the fish live in. You can't live where the fish live. You can't move through the waters as they do, and neither can they move through your environment of water. Everything is water. When you come to understand that, you come to understand that life is a series of condensation and precipitation. Precipitation we call death, when the soul leaves and goes back to the waters of life. But you see, you don't see it that way because your school teaches you nonsense. what I call the dead-education system, not the education system, but the dead-education system. It deadens your perception, it deadens your ability to see higher things, and it takes away your incentive to learn more about the spiritual and to focus more on the appetites of the sensual.